So for those of you who don't know, Ryan was a ride operator at Great Adventure over the summer. Ryan, what rides did you operate?
I was fully trained at Justice League, but I did attendant at Cyborg and at also Kingda Ka.
That's awesome.
It
So
was fun.
Ryan has sent in some pictures for us to go through as he explains his experience while working at Six Flags Great Adventure. I don't want to be there. Oops. How do I'm just gonna do it like that. So right here we have a picture of Ryan working Justice League. Ryan, who took this picture?
That was from Linda Weinstein.
Nice. Next slide here we have a picture. This is Ryan's main ride here, Justice League, of course. And right
That
here, Ryan, I'm guessing this is from when you were an attendant at Kingdom. The way this picture came out is very weird. I didn't want it to come out like that, but whatever. This is when
it's
you were
okay.
attendant at Kingdom Ka, right?
Yes.
And for those of you who don't know, that is Mike. And then Ryan, what is this?
That is your thing you get when you start working there, and they hole punch it for your test. Tom had. That's mine. I had all Justice League hole punched. I had a test hole punch, and then I was hole punch certified safe. So it's on the bottom left corner, on the bottom.
Right. And then over here, Ryan, I think we all
My
know what
fancy-
this is, but if you want to explain.
That's my fancy name, I guess.
So overall, Ryan, how is it working Justice League?
It's pretty cool. It's really not that hard to operate. Like, you have to use a clicker and click how people are on the train for each car. And let's say you have a full car, which is of course 6, so 6 times, and then have to write down on a sticky note how many people you dispatch each hour. And then
Right.
your supervisor calls them a different ride, and my supervisor, Dwayne or Chris, would call us, Ryan, how many did you have in 1 hour? And then you tell them, and then they just write it down on a piece of paper from their clipboard and go from there.
So, which position at Justice League was your favorite to operate?
Oh, easily operator. Because I had an incident, like when I was doing loader, this lady wanted to bring her baby on the ride. I'm like, I'm sorry, he's not tall enough at all for this. Oh yes, he is. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, I can go my supervisor, and she's like, yeah, you go do that. And he explained, your baby is not tall enough to ride this. Listen to my person working here. He's just trying to save aggravation. And so when I did unloader, you just tell them, okay, this way, have a good day. We had this newbie who almost pressed the ESOP button when I was working. And I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, oh, I pressed the ESOP button, right? I'm like, no. And she had no idea what she was doing.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, what would you say overall about your experience working at Great Adventure? Would you recommend it?
Oh, I would definitely highly recommend it for those who want to see the park from a different perspective, for than just saying, oh, I'm coming here as a guest. When you work there, it's like, wow, there's a lot that goes into your favorite ride opening for the day, if it's going to have downtime. Like, my first day is when a power outage happened, that heat wave went through, and Brian Gray was going to come see me at Justice League, and the park ended up never opening that day.
Tragic.
I know, right? My first day. It's all my fault.
So, Ryan, what made you decide to work at Great Adventure?
Well, I was off from my school job. For those who don't know, I'm a lunch chaperone at a middle school, and I'm like, why not try working at the park? And then they had me go through orientation. They hired me right off the spot without an interview. They said, "Oh, we know who you are. Welcome aboard." And I went through orientation, and they do take your ride into consideration, which way you want to work. So I'm like, can I get heroes? Sure. I got it right away, and I worked there from June until September 5th.
So, how much did you actually work? Like, how many days would you say?
I worked Wednesdays and Fridays, but I'm also returning next year to try to work around my school job. So
So overall, would you recommend working at the park? Oh, actually, I think I already asked that, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Yes.
Well, I remember when you were first looking to work at Great Adventure, you initially wanted your ride to be El Toro.
Obviously, yes.
So were you upset when that wasn't able to happen?
A little bit, but I'm like, because everyone's like, oh, you might not like it as much as you like riding it. I'm like, eh. But I never really enjoyed working there. I met a lot of nice people, and my hero section was very mellow. It's right next to the backstage area, so you don't have to walk that far. The bathrooms are not that far, so it's convenient.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, definitely.
One more question I was going to ask you.
Sure.
What was I going to ask? Oh, did you have any negative experiences, like with guests other than the one you described?
I told this one lady that the Justice League goes upside down 9 times and she ended up throwing up, and I had to pick up the puke.
Wow.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed myself, and I'll work there again next summer.
What were the perks of working for Great Adventure? Like, what did you get?
We get free tickets for Great Adventure, free tickets for Dorney, free tickets for Hershey. Ride parties, obviously, employee events, stuff like that.
I imagine you probably took advantage of those perks, right? I mean, who wouldn't?
Oh, I went to Hershey 2 times this year. I got on Wildcat on the last day, so I was really happy about that. Yeah, it was really fun though.
So Ryan, next year, if you were able to choose what ride you operate, which one would be at the top of your list and why?
Obviously Toro, because it means so much to me.
What would you say would be second best? Well, second, I guess, in line.
Maybe Nitro.
Yeah.
Because when I was attending at Kingda Ka, we were down for 5 hours.
Well, at least you didn't have to do anything.
I just told people no phones, no keys, nothing on you, and I had a guest tell me that I ruined his vacation because Kingda Ka was down and he wanted to see how it was compared to Dragster. And Brian Gray was there that day, and the guy was like that.
So Brian, actually, I have a question for you pertaining to Ryan.
Yeah.
How would you rate Ryan as a ride operator on a scale from 1 to 10? And why?
Sorry. I say about a 10.
A 10?
Because he's efficient. He's very friendly with the guests. He's outgoing, etc.
That's really good to hear. It's always good to hear testimonials from the guests' perspective. Brian,